Another new school year is fast approaching, so I thought I would share a look at our homeschool space. We don't have a dedicated schoolroom, so we learn at our dining table. This is in our main living space. It has 2 drawers built in and the girls have 1 each. At the moment I've got their handwriting and their map work, which they do for morning time. And then on their first day back to school, they get a school basket. It's going to be the 1st of September. They'll get a new pencil case and new supplies, and they'll add those to the drawers as well. Then next at the table we have our homeschool cart. This is where I keep the majority of our homeschool curriculum. The girls have a tub each for their own curriculum, and then I keep science and history in the 3rd tub. And because there are quite a few components to some of these courses, it's just easier to have it all in one tub. In each of the girls' tubs are their music appreciation course books. They have their typing in there, their math, their language arts, their notebooks for spelling practice, mental math books, and the answer keys for me, so that we can do all of their lessons at the table and we have everything that we need. So that's all our curriculum on the top shelf of the cart. Then on the middle shelf I just have some flashcards. We have our geography and grammar cards, and there are maps and capitals and all sorts of things in those. We've also got our time tunnel review cards. They go with our history course. And then some revision cards that we use for science and history as well. I've got watercolour supplies, and then the watercolour book and paper that goes with my eldest daughter's curriculum this year. And then along the bottom is where I keep our math supplies. I've got a calculator down here, equivalent cubes. I've got some dyslexia math books here that I use with my eldest, and some flip charts and pop-it cubes. And I've got a timer, some dice, measurement tape, shapes, coins and fractions. Then tucked in the back of the cart I keep 2 mini whiteboards, a line stencil. I've also got a number square in here. And lastly, in these protective pockets, I've got the pull-out spelling challenge words from the Good and the Beautiful language arts, and then the reference guides from the math levels that my daughters are using this year. And the multiplication practice sheets are here as well, and they can use a whiteboard pen on those. We use this cart every day. It's always by the table, and when we're not using it, it goes into the cupboard. Then on the opposite side of the room, I have our bookcase. On here I keep a variety of other supplies that we don't necessarily use every day. I've got our laptops and journals and folders and chargers and things like that in here. Then all of our reference books and DK encyclopedias are in this other basket here. Then on the next shelf I keep all of the girls' books. So I have some of their chapter books that they like reading. We've got my eldest daughter's favourite series to date on here. She read this a couple of years ago when it released and has read it multiple times since then. The language arts books that accompany the course are on here as well for my daughter, my almost 10-year-old, to use, plus our history, and I've got our Bible and devotionals on here, and some of the books that they want to read for pleasure. These are the level 5 language arts books that go with the course, and just other books that they are interested in reading this year. And then on the next shelf up I keep this book holder. This is perfect for when we're doing art or typing. And then I grabbed this little daily planner list. You can tear the sheets off and the girls can use that almost like a planner for themselves, just to write out their to-do list, and a little notebook that we use to write letters to each other back and forth every now and then. And then I have our stationery basket. This has just had a restock, so it's nice and filled up with all fresh supplies ready to go. And then underneath that I keep our planner, and then just loose paper and card, because they are often using card for crafts, so that's here where it's easy to grab. And then extra stationery supplies in here. I've got lots of bookmarks, and then a little box of fun rubbers. The girls take some out here and keep them in their desk. They choose and they swap them around. And then just pegs that we use for pinning up art. Then in these magazine box holders I keep the next typing courses that the girls will be using once they finish the ones they are on. Those are also from the Good and the Beautiful, and the nature notebooks too. We don't use these every day, so they're in here just for when we do pull them out to use them. And then in the next box I keep some journals and notebooks. So I've got the girls' history timeline notebooks. I've also got some lined paper notebooks as well, just in case we need them. Then we just have my books, and then above that I have the base 10 items we use for math every so often in this basket. And then this box is a mix. I've got our colour in map, and then I've got spelling flashcards and a variety of flashcards in here actually. This is the musical multiplication that we will be using this year, so I need to put that on our cart. I also have the flashcards as well for the multiplication, also going onto my cart. And then math supplies that we aren't using as frequently at the moment, but we may pull out when we need them. Plus I've got a Great Britain map here that we use often for geography. And then to the side of my bookcase, I keep our world map mats from Gather. They are leather and we absolutely love them. We use them all the time. I've got an alphabet one on here as well, and also a number mat. And then to the right of my bookcase is our understair cupboard / my homeschool cupboard. I keep so much stuff in here that we aren't using at the moment, but I don't want to let go of. I've got the girls' folders where we keep their best work. At the end of a year, I'll put their work in those folders. I always keep an empty paper tray in here at the beginning of a new school year to catch finished work that I will sort at the end of the year. I've got more art supplies in this basket as well. And then down here I've just got my printer, I've got home stuff, and then more stationery, ink, paper, printer paper and whatnot. And then this little mini whiteboard that also stores more stationery. Then there's just loose art supplies. I've got printables, and just the bottom shelf just catches everything else. And that is the cupboard. Final space that we store homeschool stuff is our TV unit. We've got games all in these baskets at the bottom. The flower game and the snatch game are our favourite games from The Good and the Beautiful, and we use them all the time. I've also got lots of match and nature games. We love the Treehouse Town vocabulary game, landmark lotto. And then in these cupboards I keep more games, educational games. I've got some human body resources here in this basket that we pull out when we're doing human body for science. And then whiteboards. I've got geography journals in here as well, and loose math supplies. There's curriculum that we have finished or that we plan to use in the future. And then in the next cupboard are all of our science units from The Good and the Beautiful. I've got some of the lower level science, some of the older. Some of these we've completed, but we will reuse again in the years to come. And some we haven't done yet, and they're here ready to pull out once we're ready to start. The girls are also both learning an instrument each. My eldest is learning piano and my youngest is learning guitar. Don't mind the peeling stool. We do need to replace the piano seat at some point. So these are in our living room as well, ready to be used and practiced upon every single day. We try to have them practice for at least 10 minutes a day, but usually they will practice for longer. And of course, our main living space, we sit here and read many times a day. Sometimes we do our morning times and our read alouds here as well. And that is our homeschool space. It is just where we live. It's also where we learn. I try to keep the space simple but also very functional for us all to live in, but the girls to also complete their schoolwork in. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free and leave some in the comments. As always, thank you for watching.